guys, welcome back to the channel and another superhero video. Now, I know I'm a couple days late on this one, but I promise it'll be loaded with information for those of you that have seen Spider-Man Homecoming, stuck around for the end credits, and were left kinda confused as to what just happened. But first and foremost, I just want to alert everyone that this video does contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the end credits scene or the movie in general, click away from this video, go watch it, and then come right back. Alright, so hopefully the only people left are the people that have seen the movie and want a breakdown, and if that's the case, let's get started. The first end credits scene, we see Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, in a prison walking down the hallway, when all of a sudden a man approaches him saying, "Look who it is," and begins a conversation with him. You'll notice a couple things right off the bat. Number one, there is a giant scar on his face, and number two, there's a scorpion tattoo on his neck. And as soon as I saw the scorpion tattoo, I was beyond excited. He tells Vulture to relax and that the scars aren't because of him, they're because of Spider-Man. He also tells Toomes that he has some friends on the outside that would love to take a picture with Spider-Man, slice his throat, or put his head in the dryer. You know, just classic Marvel lighthearted fun, right? This scarred man then proceeds to tell Toomes that word on the street is that Toomes knows who Spider-Man is, to which Toomes replies with, "If I knew who he was, he'd be dead already." And that's basically the end of that. Now, to a non-superhero follower, this would just be like any other post-credits scene in a Marvel or DC movie. Makes completely no sense and would be Googled or forgotten as soon as you got home. But luckily you stumbled across my channel and I am here to help out. So the man with the scarred face that we see is actually a Spider-Man villain called Scorpion, and someone who I've personally been waiting to see on the big screen for a very long time. He has a long reputation and history with Spider-Man throughout cartoons, comics, and even early video games. His real name is Mac Gargan, and in his days before crime, he was actually a private investigator brought on by none other than J. Jonah Jameson to find out how Peter was getting amazing shots of Spider-Man. But due to Spidey senses and all, Parker was able to avoid detection and basically render Mac's detective skills useless. Soon after, a frustrated J. Jonah Jameson paid $10,000 to Mr. Gargan to be the subject of an experiment based on animal mutation. And of course, nothing good ever comes from animal mutation experiments, so one thing led to another, and boom, the Scorpion was born. Now, before you go off and tell your friends that you know who the villain of the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel is going to be, let's get to some other crucial info first. If you remember back, Mr. Gargan told Toomes that he has some friends on the outside. Could this be referring to the fact that we could be getting a Sinister Six vs. Spider-Man movie? Now, in a nutshell, the Sinister Six is a supervillain group usually led and formed by Doc Ock to try and defeat the Spider-Man. All of the villains have a common ground in that they've all been beaten single-handedly by Spider-Man and want revenge very badly. And if you can't get it done yourself, you might as well form a team of supervillains to try and do it. Now, just like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Justice League, Avengers, Suicide Squad, and many others, there have been many different roster lineups for this group, so there could be endless possibilities of villains that we'll be seeing teaming up. But if this is the case, and Sony decides to cut another deal with Marvel to bring some major firepower over to the MCU, who can we expect to see? First and foremost, we know Vulture and Scorpion are both standing right there talking to each other, so you have to believe that's going to be two of the members. But who are the other six? It's kind of weird to have a Sinister Six without Doc Ock. Even though we've already seen a great big screen adaptation for his character, you have to think he'll be in there. It's just not right to have Sinister Six without him. Which leaves us with another three. And if my gut serves me right, they'll want to include new characters to the big screen, and so far we've seen Doc Ock, Hobgoblin twice, Electro, a very small role of Shocker, Sandman, and a brief version of Rhino. For argument's sake, let's just say Shocker is still out there and Rhino never happened. Which leaves us with multiple great options. We have Kraven the Hunter, aka the superpowered Sergei Kravinoff, Mysterio, aka Quentin Beck, the special effects wizard, content on turning the public against Spider-Man and taking his place as the hero, Chameleon, aka Dmitry Kravinoff, the half-brother of Kraven the Hunter and Master of Disguise, Shocker, aka Herman Schultz, the not-dead version of Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming, and Rhino, the thug from the Russian mafia that underwent various mutations, granting him superhuman strength and a powerful armor that was permanently bonded to his skin and resembled that of a rhino. Now, these are some great candidates for the Sinister Six, and mostly people we haven't seen before in a Spider-Man movie. But there are some drawbacks, mostly due to the fact that since Sony announced its Venom movie, there are rumors that we're going to be getting Mysterio and Kraven the Hunter in that movie, as well as Carnage and Spider-Man. So it wouldn't make makes sense for them to put the same people in two movies that release at about the same time, but then again, those are just rumors at this point. Another drawback, of course, is that Spider-Man 2 is considered one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. A large part of that is due to the performance of Alfred Molina's character, Doc Ock. And, let's face it, it's hard to hand down the torch without tons of hateful comments and criticism from fans all throughout the world. So how could we have a Sinister Six without the direction and leadership of Doc Ock? They could always come at that from a different angle and have Vulture at the forefront, since he was basically in charge for 8 years and pretty much took out Spider-Man all on his own. But again, that would receive tons of backlash from hardcore comic fans wanting to see the Sinister Six in its original form. Last but not least, the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel is set to take place just minutes after Avengers Infinity War. And if you remember back, one of the first times that Spider-Man ran into the Sinister Six, he was having issues with his role of Spider-Man and didn't really have his full powers at that point. So it was a real struggle for him to even stand a chance. Now, if Spider-Man is still injured from a battle during Avengers Infinity War, that might be a great time to introduce the Sinister Six nonetheless. Maybe a fight in Queens causes a certain prison to crumble, allowing a certain couple of members of the Sinister Six to escape and form the team necessary to defeat Spider-Man. Now, I'm sure as time goes on, we'll receive more and more info about the characters we can expect to see in the next Spider-Man movie. But in the meantime, all we can do is sit back and relax knowing Marvel revived our beloved web-slinger to the version that we all know and love. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, but now I want to hear from you guys. Did you see Spider-Man Homecoming? If so, did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think about it? And also, what villains do you think we can expect to see moving forward in this highly anticipated trilogy? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more videos every week. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.